Hi everyone. In this session I am going to discuss about the unit, periodic table and periodicity, in which I am going to discuss particularly about the electronegativity, variation of electronegativity in a group and in a period, and the factors determining electronegativity. Let me consider these 3 points in detail one by one. The first one is electronegativity. The ability of an atom in a chemical compound to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself is called electronegativity. It is represented by the symbol chi. It is like a capital X. Electronegativity is one of the important properties of an element which decides the nature of a chemical bond formed between any two atoms. This concept can be better understood by considering few examples. Let me take this example. Here, a covalent bond is formed between two atoms A and B. If these two atoms have the same electronegativity value, then both of them have the equal tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons towards them, and it leads to the formation of a non-polar covalent bond. That means to say, no electronegativity difference between two atoms leads to a pure non-polar covalent bond. The best examples for the compound having non-polar covalent bond are H2, Cl2, etc. Let me take one more example. Here a covalent bond is formed between two atoms A and B. If the B is having slightly more electronegative value when compared to A, then B has the tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. As a result of this, B is going to have a partial negative charge indicated by delta minus, and A is going to have a partial positive charge indicated by delta plus, and it leads to the formation of a polar covalent bond. That means to say, a small electronegativity difference between two atoms leads to a polar covalent bond. The best examples for the compound having polar covalent bond are HCl, H2O, etc. Let me take one more example. Here a chemical bond is formed between A and B. If B is more electronegative when compared to A, then B has the tendency to drag the shared pair of electron towards itself. As a result of this, B is going to have a negative charge and A is going to have a positive charge. So to all interest and purpose, we can say A lost the control on its electron and B has the control over both the electrons, and it leads to the formation of an ionic bond. So a large electronegativity difference between two atoms leads to an ionic bond. The best examples for the compound having ionic bond are NaCl, KBr, etc. Let me consider one more important point, variation of electronegativity in the periodic table. So here I am taking a part of the periodic table which includes S block element and P block element for the explanation. When we move across the period from left to right, the electrons are being added into the same energy level. As a result of this, the effective nuclear charge increases and the atomic radii decreases. Therefore, the increase in effective nuclear charge is large enough to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. As a result of this, the electronegativity value increases as we move across the period. So let us have a look here. If you consider the second period, which includes lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, the electrons are being added into the second energy level. So the effective nuclear charge increases and electronegativity will also increases. Look at the value. lithium is having electronegativity value 1.0, beryllium is with 1.5, and it goes up to fluorine, it is 4.0. When we move down the group, the electrons are being added into the new energy levels. So no doubt the addition of electron increases the effective nuclear charge, but it is overcome by the new added shell. So the increase in effective nuclear charge is not enough to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. So that's why when we move down the group, the electronegativity goes on decreases. So here I have taken group 17 elements, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So here the electronegativity value decreases from 4.0 to 2.2. That means to say electronegativity value decreases down the group. So when you carefully observe the electronegativity values of the element which are present in the periodic table, we can say metals show a lower value of electronegativity as compared to non-metals. That's why metals are considered to be electropositive in nature and non-metals are highly electronegative in nature. Fluorine is the most electronegative element found in the periodic table with a value of 4.0. Cesium is the least electronegative element with a value 0.79. Let me consider one more important point, factors determining the electronegativity. According to the syllabus, we have to discuss two important points that determine the electronegativity. The first one is charge on the atom and second one is the hybridization. Let me consider charge on the atom. A greater value of nuclear charge of an atom results a greater value of electronegativity. This is because the increase in effective nuclear charge causes the electron attraction with a greater force. An atom which acquires a positive charge would tend to attract electrons more strongly than a neutral atom. So you consider a neutral atom, it is having some effective nuclear charge value. No doubt it attracts the electrons. When you remove an electron from the neutral atom, it becomes a positively charged ion. And this will going to have a more effective nuclear charge when compared to the neutral atom. Thus, a cation will be more electronegative than the parent atom, which in turn would be more electronegative than its anion. So let us have a look at this. I am taking an atom A. When I remove the electron from this, it becomes A plus, a cation. When I add an electron to this, it will become A minus. Among these three, A plus will be having more effective nuclear charge, hence it is more electronegative in nature when compared to A and A minus. Then is another point. Higher the positive oxidation state of an atom in a species, the greater would be its electronegativity. Let us have a look at this. I have taken A plus, A2 plus and A3 plus. As the positive charge increases on the ion, the effective nuclear charge increases and the electronegativity value will also increases. So it is following this order. Then you consider an example. Here I have taken hypochlorous acid and chloric acid. Here the chlorine is having +1 oxidation state. Here the chlorine is having +5 oxidation state. So the chlorine in chloric acid is more electronegative when compared to the chlorine present in hypochlorous acid. And the another point which determines the electronegativity is hybridization. The electronegativity of the atom would increases with increase in S character of its hybrid orbitals. This is because S orbital holds electrons more tightly to the nucleus when compared to the P, D and F orbitals. Let us consider this example. Here I have taken 3 hydrocarbons. One is ethine, another one is ethene and one more is ethane. Here the carbons are sp hybridized. Here it is sp2 hybridized, here it is sp3 hybridized. So in sp hybridized orbitals, the s character will be of 50%. In sp2 hybridized orbitals, s character is of only 33%. In sp3 hybridized orbitals, s character is of 25%. So the carbon atoms present in the ethane are more electronegative when compared to the carbon present in ethene. And in turn, the carbon which are present in ethene are more electronegative when compared to the carbon present in ethane. So these are the important points to be considered in this class. So far I have explained about the electronegativity, then variation of electronegativity across the period and down the group in a periodic table, and the factors which determine the electronegativity. Hope you understood them. Thank you very much.